Hey guys, Lisa Callaghy here to share with you a video on how to run a Play Live kit with your class in Gimkit. All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Gimkit game with your students, and then I'm also going to show you how to start it and what it looks like from your perspective as a teacher as the live play is occurring, because I'm going to pop over to a student's account, sign in as a student, and have that student play the live game so you can see what a student sees. And then we'll look at the reporting features at the end of the live play so that you can see what reports and results that you'll get to see from Gimkit. All right, so let's get started. Here I am on a teacher's Gimkit homepage. And actually, I'm on her kids page, which is the first choice on the left-hand side menu bar, called kits, and that's going to show you all the kits that you have either copied from the public forum or you've created on your own. So to the right of each kit title, you'll see a green Play Live button, and that's where you start when you're setting up your kit to be played by your students live. So I'm going to click on this Play Live green button here next to multiplication. And your first screen is the screen where you get to choose the mode, the game mode that the students will be playing this kit in. And this is probably the best part of Gimkit, the part that most students really enjoy and will keep them coming back and asking when they're going to get to play Gimkit again. So it's about these modes. So if you scroll down, you'll see you have a few choices here. And if you're unfamiliar with any of these, like I was, Gimkit helps out if you hover your mouse at the top right-hand corner of each mode. You'll see a Learn More button here. So if I click on that Learn More, a slider window will come in from the right-hand side of your screen, and you can get some information about that game mode. Will tell you how to play, that you have to explain that to your students as well. And then you also, some of the modes actually have blog posts that give you even more details if you need them. So clicking on that Learn More button, it will definitely help you to select the mode that you'd like your game to be played in. There are two modes here, classic and team mode, that do not have a Learn More button because they're pretty self-explanatory. You have classic, which is each student plays a Gimkit. While we are still live, they are separate. So they're individually playing. And then you have a team mode where they are in teams. So I'm going to click on team mode just to show you there's only one difference between team mode and classic when you're setting up a game. And that is this players per team choice here that you have when you're configuring your game options. Team mode, you have to select how many players you want Gimkit to automatically put in a team. Gimkit will randomly select your students and place them in teams based upon the number here that you select for how many team members there are per team. So that's the only difference between classic and team mode. I'm kind of going to jump back into the mode page here so that I can select classic mode, because I'm only going to use one student for demonstration, and I need to make sure that I'm in classic mode because that's the only mode here that I could use with one student. So I'm going to click on classic mode once, and you guys obviously could choose any mode that you want, but I'm going to click on classic mode, and now I have to configure my game options. Now, what you're seeing here is the same game options you would see in the team mode, of course, except for choosing the amount of members per team. So the first game option you're faced with here is called game goal, and you have three choices for your game goal. The first one is time. So if you want your game goal to be about time, all the players will have to earn as much money as they can before time runs out, and you get to choose how long before the time runs out. So you could choose as many minutes as you like. I'm going to just choose 5 minutes right here, right now. Actually, I'm going to lower it so that we could do this quicker. So I'll do like 2 minutes. That's probably enough time where you get to see how a student works in the live mode. So I am going to choose time for our demonstration, but I want to continue showing the different game goals that you have choices between. So next you have race. So race is where all the players race to be the first one to reach a certain amount of cash, and that is the cash goal that you choose over here by dollars. So you choose the dollar amount that and you can select in here. You don't have to use the up and down arrows. You could kind of type in your own dollar amount here to determine whoever reaches this goal first will be the winner. And your last game goal is called All In, and that's where everybody together as one collective group, they earn as much money as they can. But the game will end once all of their collective money equals a certain dollar amount that you choose here. Again, you get to choose that dollar amount in the All In. Everybody will be racing to get as much money. The winner will be the one who has the most money, but the game will end as soon as collectively this dollar amount will be reached. And of course, you get to choose that dollar amount. All right, next we have class. So here you're able to do two things. You can click on the drop-down menu and you could choose the class that you want, the class that you want this particular game to go out to or be available for. That means all the students in this class that have joined your class will have availability in this game. If you just want certain students to join the game, you could type in their name. So if you just have a group that you want to work with within your class, you don't want to have all the students join, you could just select certain student names. And this doesn't necessarily mean that other students would be locked out because you could still have students join with the code. They're always going to join with the code. It really is about results. So seeing student results, if you don't choose your whole class, and you want to see your whole class results, then you're not going to see it if you don't choose your whole class. All right, so I'm going to choose my whole class here. Next is starting cash. So you might want to start your students off with a certain amount of cash just so that they feel like, okay, they have some money because they can go to the store right away if they wanted to buy any power-ups. Or you could choose to not have them start out with zero cash. It's completely up to you. Again, you could choose the arrow up and down or delete and type in the starting cash for your students. Next, you have a handicap, which is pretty cool because students that might be, not earning money with correct answers, if you don't have a handicap here, they will continue to lose money and be in the negative. And the more they answer incorrect, the bigger the hole that they're in, and they might give up if their hole is really big and they don't see a way out. So if you set a handicap, that means that even if a student doesn't or loses money, they won't lose more than the amount you set here. So that helps students. It's up to you whether you want to do that again. The next one is pretty important. This game feature, answer check, is important because the way that it works in Gimkit is Gimkit will repeat questions. So students will see the same questions over and over again, depending on which game mode you choose, which game goal you choose. If the questions have run out and there's still more time or they haven't reached their monetary goal, they will see the questions again. If you turn this feature on, what happens is when a student answers the question incorrectly, Gimkit is going to show them the correct answer. So the next time they see the question, they will know, if they remember, the correct answer and choose it. This may force students not to really pay attention to questions, not try hard to get the right answer. So if you keep the answer check slider on, they're going to see the correct answer when they answer incorrectly. If you turn it off, they won't see the correct answer when they answer incorrectly, but they will have a chance at answering that question correctly again when they see it again. Also, when Gimkit does repeat the questions, the correct answer does not repeat where it was before. So, for example, if the first time they saw the question and the correct answer was choice A, the second time they see the question, the correct answer choice will be a different letter, maybe B, maybe C, maybe D, whatever. It's not going to repeat in the same spot. All right, so music and clapping, these are two features that you could turn on and off for for the game. Join in late. So if anybody comes in late, you can allow them to join or turn it off and not allow them to join. And the last part are the shopping options. So here's where students are able to shop for power-ups. You can allow them to do that or not, and allow them to shop themes. That, you know, that's a fun thing as well, but you could check it out, work with your students to see what it looks like the first couple of times that you play Gimkit. And the last one is it's nice. So this clean power-ups only. So Gimkit's power-ups, there's two different kinds. There's the kinds that you can buy with your money to kind of hurt another team. So one of the power-ups might be called freeze a team or freeze a member. So what you could do is you get to choose which team or which member you want to freeze from answering questions for a certain amount of time. That's an example of a power-up. But that's an example of a power-up that can hurt another team or player. You can turn this feature on where the power-ups won't be to hurt another player. It will be this other kind of power-up where students can buy power-ups that will enhance their game, such as adding more time on for them to answer questions. Their questions will be worth, 3 times the dollar amount. So it will enhance them either individually or as a team, depending on which game mode you choose. And they can't buy anything that they can, hurt another player. So you get to choose whether or not you want to turn that clean power-ups only feature on. All right, so let me make sure I'm in the right place here. So I'm going to do a timed game goal, and it's going to be 2 minutes just for the purposes of this. And I'm going to start zero, zero starting cash. So I'll see how many questions kids got right and cash or whatever. So I'm going to click on continue. And now this is what you see once you've selected the mode and all of the game features here. You get to share this live code, Gimkit live code with your students. So now I'm going to pop over to a student account, 20231, and I'm going to sign into their Gimkit account. I'm on the student's ClassLink account. I'm going to click on Gimkit login. Remember, students need to have joined your class. You have to have had shared your class code with your students, and your students should have joined your class before you run any games. And there's a video on how to do that, so please make sure you check that out first before you run any live games. Okay, so I clicked on that student's Gimkit tile on their ClassLink dashboard. I'm logged in as the student. If you take a look over here on the left-hand side, this is the student menu bar. And the second choice here is called Join Game. So I'm going to click on Join Game. Of course, I forgot that number. I'm going to have to jump back over, 20231. And for the student, they're going to type 20231. Do that correctly, and then click on join. So that's all you students have to do to join a game. And you'll see it's like in a get ready mode because you as a teacher have not started the game, and they get to do a couple of things here. Learn about these things. They could draw while they're waiting. So I'm going to pop back over to the teacher account, and now you can see a player has joined. So you as a teacher, similar to Kahoot, you'll see your students pop up here as they join your game. And when everybody's ready, you can click on the start game green button here. Just so that you know, if you wanted to remove a player, all you have to do is click on their name and you could remove them. Okay, so there is this remote communication. I'm not going to go through it with you because Gimkit is removing it. So I don't want to teach you. You use it, and then all of a sudden one day you come in and it's gone. So we're just going to ignore this remote communication right now. So I'm going to click on Start Game. I'm going to lower actually up here you can toggle music. So I turn the music off up here on the top right-hand side. So now you can see the time is going. So I'm going to pop over to the student, and I'm going to start showing you what it looks like for the student. Okay, see, continue. Okay, so the kids have a certain amount of time to get the questions correct. And you can see up here the dollar amount. As they answer the questions correct in a row, it's called a streak. Their dollar amount increases. So if I answer the next question correct, I get $4. The next question, if I answer that correct, I get $5. But if I answer it incorrect, now you see my streak goes down. I lose $1, but now my next question is only worth $1. Okay. And this is where the kids get to shop, right? They could these are the types of, these are the things they could buy. These are upgrades. Then there's power ups they could buy. And then there are themes that they could purchase for their. Coming back up here to the hamburger menu, I go back between chop and questions and continue answering questions. Now, what's happening over here is you can see the countdown. The game has started. You're looking at a graph of what's happening in the game. So you're able to see like how your students are answering questions, right, wrong, or the questions as they're popping up, and if they're getting them right or if they're getting them wrong or not answering at all. Let me pop back over, get one more. Okay, continue. It's going to stop soon. Continue. Okay, so the 2 minutes has ended. Okay, he was the only student playing. He came in first place. So I could click on claps if I want. You could see the student's final balance. The student could see how many questions he answered correctly, how many questions he answered incorrectly. Now I'm going to pop back over to the teacher, and you'll get to see the results of your Gimkit live. So you'll see a first, a second, a third place. You'll see places here for your students, how much money. Now, up here at the top right-hand side, you get to see a report. So I'm going to click on report. If you want to play again, you can. But the view report is pretty cool. So right now, you'll be able to, right as the game is ended, clicking on report, you get to see your report. So this is a student overview. So what this will do is it'll show you a whole list. If you have your entire class playing, you'll see your students listed here. You'll see how many questions each student got correct and incorrect and their percentage of accuracy. In one big glance here, you'll see a list of all your students. And if you look over here under the title on the left-hand side, you'll see that's the student overview that I have selected. Next, you have a general overview, which is going to tell you the collective balance or how much everybody earned. You'll see how many questions were answered correctly as a total, and how many questions were answered incorrectly as a total for your class, and then, or however many students played, and then the percentage of accuracy for that Gimkit Live for all of the players. And lastly, here in this overview, you get a question breakdown. So what it'll do is it'll list all the questions here for you that were answered, and the ones that were correct and the ones that were incorrect, and how many times they were answered correct or incorrect. So this is like an item analysis, which is great. You'll be able to see which question was answered incorrectly the most during your Gimkit Live. And then following the overview, or all of the overviews here on the left-hand side, your students that took part in the Gimkit will be listed here. And then you could click on that individual student to get individual information about their results for that particular kit. How many, their final balance, how many correct, incorrect, their accuracy for that kit, and then their individual question item analysis here. So it'll tell you their pretty much which question they got wrong, which ones they got right, and the percentage of accuracy. Now, if these questions were answered multiple times, so if instead of a 2-minute game, my game goal being timed, if I did a 10-minute, this student might have seen some of these questions multiple times. So hopefully you would see, if they answered it incorrect once, that they would have multiple correct answers. You don't want to see multiple incorrect answers, especially if they've answered the question correct one time, although sometimes they just make a mistake. All right, so this has been a video on how to run a live Gimkit with your students, showing you teacher view, student view, and then the ultimate game results, and how you can see the reports for your class and individual students and individual items in the Gimkit in the reports page. All right, guys, I hope this helped. You have a great day.